1. Being alone doesn't mean being abandoned. What are you trying to control because you're afraid of losing what? Have you ever felt like this? An unanswered message. You see they're still online, still posting stories, still laughing, just not replying to you. You start to feel annoyed, then confused, then angry. You wonder, did I say something wrong? Are they ignoring me on purpose? You pick up your phone, open it, then close it. Open again, then lock the screen. You think about sending a message, but delete it. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much about the reaction you might get. Their silence is controlling you. Without a single word, just by not replying, they've seized control of your emotions. And you know what hurts the most? Not the silence itself, but the helplessness you feel because you can't change it. You can't force someone to text you back. You can't make anyone respond. All you have is a blank screen and a mind spiraling with thoughts. You're trying to control something you can't control, and that's why you're going insane. This is no longer about one message. This is about your deepest fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of not being chosen. Fear of not being enough. And that's your first wake-up call. You have to face it. Don't avoid it. Don't pretend to be okay. Be honest. You're not angry because they're silent. You're angry because you can't stand the feeling of losing control. That's the moment you must ask, what am I trying to control? And what am I so afraid to lose that I can't bear it? If you can answer those two questions, you'll finally understand what you're really fighting against. 2. You're not lonely, you're just quiet. I'm not mad at them, I'm just tired, because I've grown too used to guessing people's feelings just to be loved. Let's be honest, how many times have you not lived true to yourself just because you were afraid of being left behind? I've been there, typing a message, then deleting it. Sending a simple, "How are you?" then feeling awkward when they leave it on seen without replying. Just a few hours without a response, and my mind would begin scripting scenarios. They're losing interest. Did I say something wrong? Maybe they're talking to someone more interesting. I wasn't angry at them, I was just exhausted, because I'd been living too long as someone who had to read others' minds just to not be abandoned. Guessing what to say so they wouldn't lose interest, choosing every word carefully, just to be loved, to be kept. That exhaustion didn't come from any one conversation. It came from a whole system of distorted beliefs formed long ago. Did you grow up with the idea that your presence was conditional? Mum loves you when you're obedient. Dad's only proud if you get good grades. People only praise you when you do it right. Little by little, you stopped being yourself. You became an optimized version, designed to be accepted. You forced yourself to fit in. You learned to guess what others wanted, so you wouldn't be left behind. And then you grew up, but your inner world didn't. You still act like a child, constantly needing someone to look your way to feel like you matter. Someone's silence is not just silence. It's a subconscious reminder that you're not important enough to be remembered. And what drives you mad isn't that they forgot. It's that, deep down, you believe you're not enough to be remembered. Pause and ask yourself, am I living as a man or as a child still longing to be held? A real man doesn't seek validation at all costs. He understands. His worth isn't defined by how others treat him. It's defined by how he faces himself. But if you still react like every silence is a sentence, then the child in you is still driving. You're still living in an old fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of not being needed. Fear that if you don't please others, you'll be discarded. That's not maturity. That's living in reaction rather than intention. I once realized something when I looked back. It wasn't that I desperately craved love. I craved safety, the kind I lacked as a child. And I exhausted myself trying to be chosen because I never believed I was good enough to be chosen just for being me. That's the root. And if you don't face it, you'll keep repeating the same loop. meet someone new, try hard to be interesting, get ignored, feel hurt, doubt yourself, try even harder to not lose them. The exhaustion isn't coming from the world, it's coming from within you, from the part of you that has never been allowed to fully be yourself. And you'll only break free when you dare to put your hand on your chest, breathe deeply, and say, I once had to try so hard just to be loved, but now I choose to be real, even if that means someone walks away. This is the question you need to write down, tape to your wall, and read every day. Am I living as an adult, or as a child still trying not to be left behind? Only when you dare to answer that truthfully can you begin the process of becoming your true self. Not a copy, not a shadow, not someone trying to be accepted, but a man who knows exactly who he is and doesn't need to guess anyone's feelings to exist. 3. The silence you choose is how you heal. You're not hurt by the silence itself. You're hurt by what you think that silence means. Your emotions don't come out of nowhere. They don't come from the world. They come from how you interpret the world. Someone doesn't text back, and you feel abandoned. Someone is online but doesn't reply, and you feel like you don't matter. Someone goes quiet, and you immediately think, they're pulling away from me. But the truth is, they're just silent. They simply didn't respond. They're just living their own life. So why does it hurt? Because you assign a negative meaning to that silence. You tell yourself a story, they don't need me anymore, and you believe that story as if it were the truth. In psychoanalysis, this is known as compulsion to repeat. The urge to relive an old script. You were once hurt. Someone ignored you, walked away, made you feel like you weren't enough. And now, every time someone is silent, you replay that same feeling. No proof needed, no confirmation, just a bit of silence. And the past resurfaces. You're not reacting to the present, but to a wound from the past that never healed. Now let's turn to Stoicism, a philosophy that's simple, direct, and razor sharp. You can't control what others do. You can only control how you respond. If someone ignores you, that's their choice. If someone goes silent, that's their freedom. You have no right to control others, but you do have the power to choose your reaction. Socrates once said, "It's not what happens that harms us, but how we think about it." So every time silence stings you, ask yourself, am I reacting to reality or to the story I created in my head? Am I facing another person or fighting my own fear of being abandoned? One of the biggest mistakes is believing that your feelings are always true. No, feelings are defense mechanisms, not facts. You have the right to feel angry, sad, or hurt, but you also have a responsibility to question those feelings. Instead of letting them control you like a puppet, Stoicism doesn't teach you to be numb. It teaches you to master yourself, so emotions don't run your life. Once you understand this mechanism, you stop being the victim. You're no longer the person who gets ignored. You become the one who chooses not to react automatically. You stop panicking when someone doesn't reply. You begin to step back, take a breath, and ask, is this really that important? What proof do I have for this assumption? Am I just repeating an old response pattern I'm tired of? You must train this like a muscle. Every time silence triggers you, don't react instantly. Write down your thoughts, no edits, just vent. Then ask, is this real, or is it just a movie in my head? Soon, you'll see clearly. 80% of the pain comes from your mental movie. Only 20% comes from the actual event. And here's the key. There's nothing wrong with emotions, but if you never learn to see through them, you'll always be pulled away. You'll live a life of constant reaction, always waiting for a response, always fearing the silence. and slowly, you'll lose yourself. Just because you didn't have the calm to be still. Conclusion: you're not hurt by their silence. You're hurt because you think that silence means, I'm not worthy. So instead of chasing noise, learn to stand still in the storm. Don't let emotions lead you. Don't let the old script play again. And don't let anyone, not even yourself, dim your true worth. 4. No message is still a message. Come back to yourself. You can be kind, you can love deeply, and they can still leave you. This is a slap in the face of a common illusion many people hold. If I'm good enough, sincere enough, caring enough, then they won't leave me. It sounds logical, but it's a lullaby for the inner child. A beautiful idea, but not reality. You once loved someone with everything you had. You paid attention to the tiniest details. You showed up whenever they needed you. You put yourself last just to make them happy. You thought, if I do all this, surely they won't let me go. And then what? One day they grew distant. One day, the messages slowed down. One day, silence. And you realized, kindness was never a free pass against being left. Wake up. Here's the truth. People don't stay because you're good. They stay when they want to continue the journey with you. Sincerity won't keep someone who has stopped choosing you. Love is not a transactional contract. You can give so much and still receive silence in return. Not because you did something wrong, but because you can't control someone else's choice. Angry? Of course. Disappointed? Absolutely. But the real reason you're hurting is this. You're grieving an illusion you created. The illusion that, if I do everything right, they'll stay. If I love deeply enough, they won't let go. If I'm patient, they'll come back. You spent your youth carrying that burden. You molded yourself into the ideal partner. You became a version of yourself that's easier to love, easier to be around. But you forgot one essential truth. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to know who you are. Real growth begins the moment you dare to face this. Someone can walk away, even if you love them with everything you have. You can be a good person and still not be kept. It's not that you're not enough. It's that they no longer want to stay. Does it hurt? Absolutely. But when you accept that truth, you'll feel the weight lift off your back. The pressure to please. The pressure to be interesting enough. The pressure to try hard so you won't lose them. And you'll finally start living on your terms. No longer trying to control others. Only responsible for your own reactions. Only keeping what's truly worth keeping. A strong man understands this. He can't keep others with kindness. He can only keep himself with awareness. The deeper you love, the steadier you must be. The more you give, the clearer your boundaries must be. Don't allow yourself to be used. Don't turn love into a plea to be kept. You may ask, so should I stop being sincere? Stop being kind? No, but you must stay awake. Be kind, because that's who you are. Not because you want to earn affection. Love, because you genuinely love. Not because you expect a perfect return. And if they don't appreciate it, let go, without bitterness, because you know, you don't owe anyone proof of your worth if they've stopped wanting to see it. Don't live to be kept. Live to know that. No matter who leaves, you still have yourself. No matter who turns away, you still stand strong. No matter who doesn't choose you, you are still worthy to keep going. That is real strength. It doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from not losing yourself while trying to hold on to someone else. Final thought. Stop feeding the illusion that, if I'm good enough, they won't leave. Learn to be strong enough to let them go if they do. And keep shining your light, even if no one stays to see it. 5. Silence doesn't make you invisible. It makes you clearer. I choose not to react. I choose to keep my light, even in the dark. Let me be blunt. Real strength doesn't lie in instantly reacting when you're hurt. It's not in shouting, "I'm fine." It's not in pretending to be okay, then crumbling at night, feeling unseen. True strength is standing still in the storm without losing yourself. You may think you're strong when you retaliate, when you block someone, when you act like you don't need them anymore. But in truth, that's just the instinctive reaction of a bruised ego. You're not choosing stability. You're choosing the fastest defense to avoid more pain. In reality, you're letting someone else control your emotions. All it takes is a missed message, and you lose your balance. Just a bit of silence, and you're already reacting. Angry, blaming, deleting, baiting attention. You can't hold your ground because you haven't built your inner strength yet. Learn from the mountain. The mountain doesn't shout, doesn't chase. It's not cold, but it's steady. Through winds, storms, thunder, it does not move. You need to become that kind of man. Not someone who pretends not to care, but someone who knows what deserves a response and what should be let go. This is higher level strength. Control from within, instead of grasping for control outside. Choosing calm, overreacting from fear. Accepting truth, instead of denying reality. From today on, shift your perspective. 1. When someone goes silent, don't immediately assume, "I don't matter." Maybe they're tired, maybe busy, maybe choosing to live their own way. You don't know, so don't make up stories that only hurt yourself. 2. When someone becomes distant, don't assume you have to chase. Maybe this is a test. Can you stay composed? Or will you rush to fix something that doesn't need fixing? 3. When you feel empty, don't rush to fill it with noise. Try staying with yourself. Strength doesn't come from the outside. It comes when you know how to be alone without feeling. And here's something important. Not reacting doesn't mean you're weak. On the contrary, it means you're clear-headed enough not to play a game you don't need to join. You choose to keep your light. You choose not to let your mind be clouded by small acts from others. You choose to live by your principles, not by someone else's moods. I know, silence can make you feel disrespected, but you must remind yourself, I don't live to be constantly validated. I live to stand in integrity, even when no one's applauding. Inner peace doesn't come from how others treat you. It comes when you stop reacting unconsciously and start responding intentionally. Imagine, you are a lamp. When people come, you shine. When they leave, you still shine. Even when no one is watching, you emit your own light, because you know the value of light isn't in how many people see it. It's in the fact that it keeps shining, even in the dark. You can't control who comes or goes, but you can control whether you remain true to yourself. No reaction, no chasing, no compromising your worth, just to be acknowledged. Final thought. Staying calm is not weakness. It is the peak of inner strength. The truly strong are not the loudest. They're the ones who know when to stay silent and still remain unshaken by the silence of others. 6. You're not being forgotten. You're learning how to remember yourself. I see you, anger, but from now on, I'm the one holding the wheel. It's time to stop analyzing, stop overthinking, stop knowing but not doing. Want to overcome your inner insecurity? Want to stop being led by emotions like a puppet? There's no shortcut. There's only one thing: discipline. You don't become stronger by reading theory. You grow by stepping onto the real battlefield, where real emotions, real reactions, and real pain emerge. And you must train your inner world in those exact moments. Here are 2 simple practices. If you take them seriously, they will change the way you live. Exercise 1. Write a letter to your emotion. Name it. Face it. Take control. Grab a pen. Open a blank page. No phone. No social media. Just you, with yourself. Write to your anger, your sadness, your emptiness, your sense of abandonment, any emotion that's been hijacking your control. Write as if speaking to a small inner child, one who's been silently enduring for far too long. Example: hey, anger, I know you're flaring up. You want to smash things, scream, disappear. But I'm here. I'm not leaving. I see you, and I won't let you drive my life anymore. Or, hey, fear of being forgotten. I get it now. You exist because I've been left behind before, but I'm not that child anymore. I'm a man, grown enough to stay with myself. Write until there's nothing left to write. No editing, no pretty sentences, just release the truth. This is how you ride the wave, instead of being swept away. Exercise 2. 5 minutes of stillness. No force, just awareness. You spend hours on your phone, minutes scrolling social feeds, but when was the last time you gave yourself a real 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes of complete stillness. No music, no meditation app, no trying to reach a state. Just sit and observe yourself. Where is your body holding tension? Is there restlessness inside you? What are you secretly hoping will happen? A message? Someone to mention you? Take a deep breath and whisper, I am here. I have not been abandoned. I'm just learning to stay with myself. At first, you'll feel restless, uncomfortable. Your mind will race. Good, that's exactly why you need this practice, because it helps you sit with the parts of yourself you always try to avoid. The reason most men never grow emotionally is because they keep running from themselves. They don't know how to sit still when emotions rise. They distract themselves with work, entertainment, women, alcohol, social media. All of it is anesthesia, meant to help them avoid facing the truth. You can't be truly strong if you still need to be numb. You become strong the moment you choose to stay awake and stop running. Inner training is not sexy. It doesn't bring instant results. No one's going to cheer you on for sitting quietly for 5 minutes. But that's how you build steel foundations, the kind that holds up a man who does not collapse easily. Remember, write a letter whenever your emotions surge. Sit still every day, even just for 5 minutes. Don't react too quickly, just observe. Do this for 30 days, and you'll no longer be the man you were yesterday. You'll notice you're harder to shake, harder to manipulate. No longer needing someone else to confirm you're enough. You'll stand like a mountain. No need to prove, no need to run. Just be there, clear and unshakable. Conclusion: you want to be stronger? Then stop craving validation and start training in silence. Every minute of stillness, every honest sentence, every moment of non-reaction. That's not weakness. That's the steel core of a real man. 7. Your worth isn't in who seeks you. It's in not losing yourself. I don't need to control everything. I just need to stay aware enough not to abandon myself. In the end, every struggle comes down to one thing. Are you still yourself amid the chaos, the silence, and the uncertainty? You can try everything to be loved. You can overanalyze every message, every period, every vague expression. You can react, block, post subtle statuses to show you're fine. But after all those reactions, where are you? Are you still present enough to see that emotions aren't the enemy, but you must never become a slave to them? Silence isn't proof that you're invisible. It's a reminder. You need to return to yourself. Not everyone who leaves is a loss. Sometimes it's a release. You don't need to control the whole world. You can't force someone to care, to love you the right way, or to reply on time. There's only one thing you must do. Don't abandon yourself. Don't abandon your principles. Don't abandon the values you believe in. Don't abandon your inner strength just because of a moment of weakness. And next time the chaos comes, when your mind wants to reach out, to hold on, to react, sit down, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and whisper, I don't need to control everything. I just need to stay aware enough not to abandon myself. That is your compass. No frills, no lofty philosophy, just one true sentence, right when you need it most.